Have you ever felt trapped, cornered with no way out? Imagine standing on the shore of a vast sea with an army, the most powerful army in the world, thundering down on you. This isn't just a story from an ancient book. This was the reality for a man named Moses and hundreds of thousands of people who had just escaped centuries of slavery. Let's strip away the layers of legend for a moment and look at the human drama. Moses wasn't a superhero. He was a man who grew up in a palace but was born a slave. A man who, after a terrible mistake, fled into the desert for 40 years. He was a shepherd, likely weathered by the sun and humbled by solitude. He had a speech impediment, and by his own admission, felt completely unqualified for the massive task he was given: lead his people to freedom. Imagine the crushing weight of responsibility on his shoulders. Every single person, the elderly, the children, the mothers and fathers, their lives were in his hands. He'd negotiated with the most powerful ruler on earth, Pharaoh, and witnessed incredible wonders. But now, all that seemed to be for nothing. The sea was in front of them, the desert on either side. Pharaoh's chariots were closing in, a cloud of dust and fury on the horizon. You can almost hear the panic rising, the cries of fear, the accusations. Was it because there were no graves in Egypt that you brought us to the desert to die? People yelled at him. What would you do? What would go through your mind? For Moses, this was the ultimate test of leadership and faith. All his past experiences, all the divine encounters, all came down to this single, terrifying moment. This wasn't just about a physical escape. It was a psychological turning point. The people had left Egypt, but had Egypt really left them? They were still trapped by a slave mentality, quick to fear and despair. They needed to see something so definitive, so impossible, that it would forever sever their connection to their past and forge a new identity as a free nation. They needed more than a victory. They needed a miracle that would redefine their understanding of reality. And then it happened. The story tells of a strong east wind blowing all night, pushing the waters back to form a path on dry ground. Can you picture it? The roar of the wind, the towering walls of water on either side, shimmering under the moonlight. The fear of stepping onto that seabed, wondering if the walls would collapse. It was a walk between terror and hope, a passage from bondage to liberation, from certain death to a new beginning. When they reached the other side and saw the sea crash back down, swallowing the pursuing army, it was more than just survival. It was a profound foundational event. It was the moment a group of desperate refugees truly became a people, bound together by a shared experience of the impossible. This story has echoed through millennia not just because it's a dramatic tale, because it speaks to a universal human experience. The feeling of being trapped, the cry for deliverance, and the hope that even when all seems lost, a path forward can appear in the most unexpected way. It challenges us to consider what walls of water and pursuing armies we face in our own lives. It asks us, where do we find the courage to step onto that uncertain path? If stories like this that explore the depths of human history and spirit fascinate you, then you're in the right place. We dive into these moments to understand not just what happened, but what it means for us today. Hit that subscribe button and join our community of thinkers and explorers. Thanks for watching.